Hello, thank you for joining my channel again. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. This is the Special Moms World. It's my channel is a resource center for caregivers and parents of special needs children. It's a place where I share my story, other people's stories, experiences, our journey, our lessons through raising special needs children. So if you are someone who is raising a special needs child, or you know people who are raising special needs children and you want to be of great support to them, or you just want to enjoy the lessons that we are learning, because no lesson is a waste, I say welcome to our channel. And the first thing I want to ask you to do is please subscribe to this channel. And if you find the information that we are sharing in this channel very helpful, feel free to share it with as many people as you can that you think it will be helpful to. So today we're going to be looking at a very delicate topic, and the question is, will my next child be okay? Okay, I smile because it's a battle. I've been in groups of special needs. I have support groups for spinal muscular atrophy that I am in. Then I have support group for special needs parents that I am in, and I have seen it as a common question that most parents ask. The question of, will my next child be okay? Most especially if the child with the special needs is your first child. It's always a battle. It's always a battle because the first thing that happens is you keep asking if there was something you did wrong that made this child turn out this way. So you are very scared that the next child will turn out the other. So if the condition is a genetic or a hereditary condition, it's this battle of the mind is worse or is harder. For instance, spinal muscular atrophy is a spinal muscular atrophy. I'm always missing it. Whether it's atrophy or atrophy. Atrophy is a genetic condition. The implication is there's a 25% chance, 1 in 4 chances that every of your child would have the condition. So it means that for every pregnancy there's a 25% chance that the child might have the condition. So if you have such conditions, there's no way you wouldn't ask that question. I have seen people who immediately they had the SMA child, they were done, they didn't want to have any children anymore. So the question is a very valid question. Will my next child be okay? So no matter what condition your child was diagnosed with, most especially if the child was your first child, you'll find yourself ask that question, will my next child be okay? I asked that question also. It was it was so funny that after we got my daughter's diagnosis and the implication, we had decided that we're going to wait a little more before having any more children, if we're going to have any more children. But fortunately or unfortunately, I missed my period the very next month, and that was it. So we kept battling with for that first few months. There was just the battle of what to do and all of that, and then we tried to see if we could do the test in you to know exactly what our decision would eventually be. Before I get to my own story, I'm just going to share that to encourage you that the percentage of people who have more than one special needs kid in the world is not not so much. There are people who have more than one. In fact, in our SMA support group, I know of a woman who has 3 children who have SMA, but it's just that she had the first 2 before she got any diagnosis at all. She had the first one, and she had not gotten a diagnosis for the first one before she had the second one. So by the time she was pregnant for the 3rd one, she did a test and already knew what she was expecting. So there are chances of that happen, but it's very low. Let's start with that first of all. It's very low for you to have more than one child who have the same, who have issues or who are special children. That's it. So let that fear not cripple you. Let that fear not make you stop what you're supposed to do. If you want to have more children, let that fear not stop you. And and the second option is, I mean, I have the personal belief that nothing will come to you that will be bigger than what you can handle. I know it might sound altruistic and all of that, but it's just the truth. The truth. For instance, let me give an example. When I was pregnant with my second baby, and then the questions kept coming. Okay, maybe you should. The doctors advised I should go and do a test and to be sure that the baby in the womb didn't have the condition. And of course, I kept dilly-dallying. And then when I asked myself, okay, even if even if I go through this test and then I find out that this child does not have spinal muscular atrophy, and then the child is born and the child has a different condition that is not spinal muscular atrophy or something that can be detected from prenatal tests, what will happen? Will I throw the child away? Will I reject the child and all of that? So when I had convinced myself of that, and I told myself that, I mean, whatever happens, the child will still be my child. I'll still care for the child like my child, because that's who the child is and all of that. So I think that's the next option. I mean, it's just by telling yourself that nothing will come your way that is more than you can bear. There's always the moral backing or the moral decision of whether or not to terminate a pregnancy. I'm not the one to take decision for anyone. I'm not the one to tell anybody what to decide. It's your decision to make. Is it something you can live with at the end of the day? Is it something that you can sleep and wake up and be comfortable with that decision? That's the question I always pose to people. If in the long run on what to decide, you make your decision based on what your convictions are. If you think it wouldn't be fair to bring in a child to suffer that condition, and you think it's better you let the child go while the child is still in the womb, the decision is yours to make. But the thing is, if you decide to carry through, this is me convincing you that there's nothing that will come your way that is more than what you can bear. That is more than what you can bear. There are so many things, there are so many conditions that you cannot detect while in the womb, and then you give birth to the child, and then the child is growing, and then you find out that there are some issues, or there are some complications and all. And then medical negligence is still something that still affects a lot of newborns. We have a lot of cerebral palsy cases in the country where I come from. Come as a result of negligence, and these are not things that you plan for, things that you see in the womb and all of that. So if things like that happen, what are you going to do? You're not going to throw the child away. What if that thing is presented to you? I'm telling you that you have what it takes to take care of it, to handle it. That being said, I am always of the opinion that it wouldn't cost you any much to be positive. Do your bit. If you believe in prayers, pray the much you can. Make your declarations over your child. Have your convictions. Have the word of God that you use. Have special confessions, specific promises from the Bible, from the scriptures that you use over the child. Do your best for that child, for the child in your womb, and then trust God. I don't think you need to pay any much amount. Yes, it's going to be a struggle and all of that, but trust God to help you to give birth to a child who will be okay, who will be fine, who wouldn't have any issues. So it's a thing. There is nobody can promise you 100% that your next child will be okay. But here's me encouraging you that the chances of having another child with a special condition, with complication, with a medical condition, is quite low, quite low. And then if you have done all that you can, all that is in your power, and it eventually happens that this is what it turned out to be, you are equal to the task. You can do it. Believe me, you can do it, and you can make the most of the situation. So here's me saying thank you very much for watching today's video, watching up until this part, and I am really grateful that you are here. Please don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to share our videos, and then drop your comments, ask your questions. If you want to reach out to me privately for support, you have questions you want to ask me privately, my contact will also be here. You can always send your messages and ask me your questions. I'll be more than willing to respond to you. Thank you. I'll see you in our next video. Bye.